What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Aurora, and like always there's always some positive and negative news in this sector, and we're going to be covering both sides of the story. We're going to be looking at the negative stuff and the positive stuff, and in the end you guys can make your decision as to whether you still think this is a company you believe in or not. Just remember, when there's a lot of negativity surrounding a company, for example all these price targets by analysts giving Aurora a $1, a $0 price target, it decreases the share price, also decreases the confidence in investors, which potentially also creates a new buying opportunity. But let me just tell you, nothing is ever guaranteed. Just right now, because we're looking at Aurora near its 52-week lows, does not mean Aurora cannot go any lower. And just because we're seeing all this negative news about Aurora does not mean that Aurora can release some surprising good news and Aurora could skyrocket. Literally anything can happen. I just want you guys to know how volatile this sector has been and how volatile it probably will continue to be for the next few years. So we're going to be covering lots of stuff in this video, but before we get this video started, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, hit that notification bell, smash the subscribe button. Also, let me know in the comment section, are you guys still bullish or bearish on Aurora? Is there a price that you guys plan to pick up shares, or is there a price where you guys plan to sell these Aurora shares? Also, let me know your thoughts and opinions on these articles, what you think about the negativity surrounding this company. Has this created a buying opportunity for you guys, or are you guys just going to be watching from the sidelines because you believe that this sector is just way too risky for you guys? But for now, let's just get this video started. So first things first is we're going to be talking about Aurora, and today Aurora is down 5%, down 10 cents, currently at $1.89, and that is in American dollars. And as you can see from these charts, my previous resistance line, which is around 225, and my previous support, which is at around $1.50, seem to be in full effect right now. So we have the resistance line right here at 225. If we extend this line right here, as you can see, Aurora has bounced off this resistance, has tried to go above it and immediately got rejected. And then here we have the support at $1.50. And as you can see here from this support, Aurora has hit the support and immediately bounced off it. So once again, like I mentioned in the past, just because we have this resistance line here and this support does not mean that Aurora will continue to trade in between these lines. Under any circumstance or situation, Aurora can go below $1.50 and potentially even reach $1 or less, all depending on how the markets are, what kind of news gets released on the company, and whether there's any negativity that takes place in the sector. Another thing I do want to look at is, for the longest time, Aurora has been downtrending. This is the first time in a very long time that Aurora has broke this downtrend, and we did start consolidating and trading sideways. As you can see now, we are starting to trade sideways. But even at these 52-week lows, Aurora's market cap is still at $2.05 billion, and this is a company that's not profitable, so I wouldn't be very comfortable saying that this is the bottom for Aurora. But at the same time, I do think that these are great buying opportunities, and even I myself have purchased some Aurora shares at these prices. Now, we did that for American charts. We're going to be doing the exact same thing for Canadian charts. As you can see right now for Aurora, resistance right here we have for at around $3, and almost the same thing happened. Aurora hit the resistance line, got rejected, hit the resistance line, got rejected, and we have a support right here at around $2 Canadian, which Aurora did hit right here, maybe dipped a little bit below, but immediately rised back up. So right now, once again, same thing for Aurora charts. We were downtrending for the longest time, and just recently Aurora did start trading sideways. Does not mean that the downtrend is over, but for now these are good signals to look at. In Canadian dollars, Aurora's market cap is $2.8 billion with 1.09 billion shares outstanding. So we're going to move on to some Aurora news. So first, we're going to be taking a look at key catalysts that will get risky Aurora stock back on track. There are certainly some big time challenges for the company. First of all, Aurora pulled off a string of acquisitions which ballooned the company's debt and added lots of complexity to the organization. It also did not help that several Wall Street analysts put out awful reports, such as Piper Sandler's Michael Lavery, who slapped a $1 price target on ACB stock. But worst of all came from GLJ research analyst Gordon Johnson, who says Aurora stock will hit $0 within the next 2 years. And I did make a video about that. I honestly don't think that it would ever be possible for this company to hit a $0 price target. It would have to be completely bankrupt for it to be one of the biggest companies in Canada right now. we would have to see a lot of things happening for this company to go to $0. And I mean a lot of negative things happen, like maybe another fraudulent allegation against Aurora, etc. But the $0 price target, I don't see happening. $1 price target, of course, it's very realistic considering right now we're sitting at around $1.90 something American or $2.50 Canadian. The $1 price target, I do think, is a very realistic price target. I still don't think it would happen. Right now, we do have a very strong support at $1.50, but just like I mentioned earlier, it does not necessarily mean that Aurora cannot go below $1.50, especially one of the concerns may be their upcoming earnings. If Aurora continues to underperform and investors are not happy with those results, we could possibly see Aurora continue to decline even more. So the problem with the Canadian markets aren't really about demand, rather that they are distribution and enforcement. Government process has made it extremely difficult to go launch new retail locations. In the meantime, there has emerged more black market activities that have generally not been checked by authorities. Consider this, there are a mere 363 MJ stores across Canada. That's just one location for every 143,108 users. Given this, it should be no surprise that companies like ACB have struggled. So yes, this will not be permanent, but there are signs the Canadian authorities are being more proactive, and this should go a long way to help improve Aurora's fortune. But there should be another catalyst, which is cannabis 2.0, and this refers to the legalization of edibles beverages in Canada, which could be a multi-billion-dollar opportunity for the sector. So another thing we probably would be concerned about is Aurora's expenses. We remember near the beginning, before the legalization in Canada, Aurora was looking to grow, and maybe they were looking to grow too big, too soon, too fast. Maybe they got a little greedy, but they were spending a lot of money, and some of it was the shareholders' money. They were looking to expand. They were buying companies like MedRelief, etc., and that put a lot of money and a lot of debts in their balance sheet. So Aurora is already taking action to cut back on expenses. The company has initiated construction deferrals and slowed commissioning of projects, which is expected to save $200 million in the near term. The company also retired $227 million of a 5% unsecured convertible debenture that had a due date on March 2020. What's more, if revenues continue to increase as the situation in Canada improves, this will definitely alleviate the pressures. But that's a big if. That's if revenues continue to increase. And I'm not saying Aurora can't do it. The only thing I'm saying is, will Health Canada, will the government finally stop making it so difficult for these companies to be able to sell their products? So it's also important to keep in mind that Aurora has Nelson Peltz. And Nelson Peltz has been with Aurora, it seems like almost for a year now. And from what I know, this guy has almost done next to nothing. Maybe he helped us with that UFC partnership. As of now, Nelson Peltz has been very silent. So maybe this is the year for Nelson Peltz. He surprises us Aurora shareholders and he comes out with a big deal, a big trade. I'm not sure, but right now he is one of the world's top investors for consumer stocks, with positions in companies like Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG, Mondelez, ticker symbol MDLZ, and Wendy's, ticker symbol WEN. In other words, he should be a great source of strategic advice, but should also provide key introductions to other investors and corporate partners. So in this article alone, we covered a few negatives, which are the analysts giving Aurora a $1 price target, giving Aurora a $0 price target, etc., which has negatively affected the company. And then we have the positives, which one of them is our strategic advisor, Nelson Peltz, who has a very good reputation, but has been very silent since he joined Aurora. So maybe 2020 is the year for him. Another positive we can look at is Aurora is starting to finally realize that they need to cut back in expenses. Aurora wants to grow at this pace, but unfortunately, the government of Canada, Health Canada, is not allowing them to grow at this pace. Health Canada is going at this pace. Aurora wants to grow at this pace. Unfortunately, Aurora maybe has finally realized that, and they don't want to grow too big, too fast, too soon. Maybe they were planning for the future, but unfortunately, right now, they cannot be doing that. That's all coming at the expense of the shareholders, because at any given point, eventually Aurora will eventually need to dilute even more shares. And then one of the potential positives, which I believe has the most potential out of all these things, is Cannabis 2.0. I think this could play a very big role for Aurora. I think Cannabis 2.0 has a lot of potential, can create a lot more revenue for this company, and Cannabis 2.0 can finally steal a bit of business, a bit of customers from the black market, because the black market has has not stopped. So considering what we've learned from this article, it's still not enough to determine what's going to happen with Aurora in 2020. There's still so many possibilities, so many outcomes. There's still a lot of negative analysts out there. So we're going to move on to another article, and we're going to talk about what's in store in 2020 for the MJ sector.